Hi friends, my name is Jennifer Terri. I'm with Philippine Travel Updates. Today is May 3 and I'm going to share to you a very important announcement from the Manila Airport Authority. If you can remember, January 1, diba, there was a big fiasco wherein our airspace shut down. No flights were coming in and out of the country. About 65,000 passengers were affected. Hundreds of flights were canceled, delayed. Yeah. Announcement today by the Philippines Airport Traffic Management System that there will be a shutdown again, that the Philippines will shut down its airspace for specific days this month. That will be on May 3 and on May 17. Apparently, they will be replacing the equipment that faltered last January 1. Okay, so to fix it, they have to shut down. So when is this closure, Jennifer? It's happening on May 3, that's today, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. And the second schedule for the closure of Philippines airspace will be on May 17, midnight, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Or if you have a flight that's arriving or leaving the Philippines during that time, coordinate with your airline, check the flight status, check your email for any notifications. Because yeah, you'll be rescheduled. See, this is the part where you will reap the benefit of booking directly with the airline. It's much easier to deal with their customer service because you only have to deal with one. Whereas if you book with a third-party site, good luck. Tell us how it goes. But if you book directly with the airline, they will immediately give you options, an alternative. What airports will be affected? It's not just NAIA. So Clark International Airport and Cebu will be affected, and several flights at other 42 airports in the country that are operating commercially will be affected. According to Manila Airport Senior Assistant General Manager, it's the entire Philippines airspace that will be shut down because of the scheduled maintenance or replacement of the UPS, yung Air Traffic Management Center natin. So, we just have to do some sacrifice. It needs to be fixed. Otherwise, we could have the same January incident. No thanks. But it might be shorter according to them if the activity is finished earlier. The issued notice of airmen will be lifted and the operations will resume as normal. Yesterday was another fiasco. If you listen to the news, NAIA Terminal 3 had a major power outage which lasted for hours. It started at like 1 a.m. and ended at 8:46 a.m. I mean, NAIA Terminal 3 is the biggest terminal in NAIA, and a lot of people were stuck yesterday. Some parts of the airport didn't have aircon, light. Yeah, it was chaotic. See? Daming problema ng NAIA. They used the generator system, but of course it wasn't enough to sustain the full operational requirement of the whole terminal. So yeah, these things happen in the Philippines. Kaya ako, if you're flying here, better to get insurance, travel insurance. As much as possible, I try to avoid NAIA. My next international flight, I'd be leaving in Davao. I won't be going through Manila. There are other airports in the country. They're much less problematic and less busier. So if you have the option, go ahead. Check if you can actually land or leave in Cebu or in Clark. Moving on, did you guys know that the Civil Aeronautics Board announced last week that they have dropped down the fuel surcharge from level 6 to level 5? So, fuel surcharge is the second highest fee that is charged to us air travelers. So for like domestic flights within the Philippines, you'll be looking at, instead of paying a maximum amount of 665, on level 5, the maximum amount is 542. While for international, it's going to be from 498 to 3,703. So for example, if you were booking a flight Manila to Australia or Manila to Middle East, instead of paying 2,100 for fuel surcharge, you'll be paying only 1,700. So that's about 386 savings. Another example is if you were flying from Guam to from Manila to Guam, instead of paying 844, you'll be paying 688. So a saving of around 155 pesos. So it's not a lot, but something is better than nothing, diba? Well, a lot of you still ask where, how, or where to book cheap flights. For me, I still book with direct with the airlines, although sometimes it can be tempting to book with a third-party site because it can be significantly cheaper. But then, I mean, in case something happens, it's still, for me, I'd feel more at ease knowing that I booked directly with the airline. No matter what happens, I only have to deal direct with the airline. I don't have to go to another site, another agent. And it's not always that the third-party site is cheaper. Sometimes the airline's website is cheaper because they don't want to pay commissions on these third-party sites. If you are also flying with an airline, it's good to register to the rewards program. I've done that before. Cebu Pack, I've saved thousands by accumulating points with them. So if you're a regular flyer, yeah, register for rewards program or use your credit card for points. And always book in advance, 2 to 3 months ahead at least. If you're going for a vacation here for December, you'd start looking at for plane tickets as early as now. Some airlines do have alerts. They'll alert you if the prices have dropped. I'll do that with Google Flights. If you go to Google Flights, guys, you can track prices there and they'll email you whenever prices drop. Meanwhile, in Japan, last April 29, they've lifted all COVID-19 travel restrictions and requirements. Wow, good for Japan. If you're coming to Japan, no need to show vaccination proof. Yay, the only thing that's left is that if you have high fever or COVID-like symptoms, you could be tested. But that's it. If you're unvaccinated, no need to get tested if you're going to Japan. Yay! How about in the Philippines, Jennifer? A lot of people ask, how about unvaccinated? Do we still get tested? Yes, nothing has changed. So this is still the rule for the Philippines. If you are unvaccinated or partially vaccinated, 15 years old and above, okay, we don't count. If you've recovered for COVID, that doesn't count. It's only the shots. So if you're unvaccinated, 15 years old and above, you still need to be tested. It's the main test that's accepted is rapid antigen test taken within 24 hours before departure. An RT-PCR test taken within 48 hours is also accepted. So either of the two, up to you. Meanwhile, if you want to get tested here, it's still an option. You still can get tested here if you like. Test before departure or upon arrival, up to you. The airline should not deny you boarding just because you don't have a test result, because you can actually get it done here. While for fully vaccinated individuals, only 2 shots are required. Booster is not counted. And don't worry if you were vaccinated more than 6 months ago. I know some countries have this requirement. We don't have that here. If you were vaccinated 2 years ago, doesn't matter. It's still recognized. So only 2 shots. A 3rd shot or booster is not required, although it is recommended. Some places here are experiencing spikes in COVID cases. In fact, some provinces were put under alert level 2. I didn't know they were still doing alert level systems, but yeah, apparently my province is on alert level 2. I don't feel the difference so far. While for children, if you're traveling with children, they will simply just follow the protocol of a traveling parent or guardian. So they don't necessarily have to be tested. If the traveling parent or guardian has a negative test result, then the child won't have to get tested. They will just simply follow the protocol of the traveling parent or guardian. Again, 15 years old and below. While for e-travel, all travelers need to register if they're coming in. Yeah, I've made a tutorial video. I'll just put the link in the comment section. And this is still it. If you're unvaccinated, red background. If you're fully vaccinated or children, it will be a QR code with a green background. Care to share. Initially, the immigration announced that they will discontinue the use of departure cards on May 1, but then they had a power outage in Terminal 3. I wonder how that turned out. But anyways, they have discontinued the use of departure cards according to their announcement. So tell us, to those who traveled recently, did they discontinue? So for e-travel for departure, again, it's only for Filipino citizens, former Filipinos, foreign nationals. You do not need to do e-travel when you leave the Philippines. It's just your passport. I will do a departure guide very soon. That's going to be my next video. If you guys are keen on knowing whether you have to secure an exit clearance or pay travel tax when you exit the country, that's my next update. But yeah, coming in the country, everybody must register to e-travel. But leaving the country, leaving the Philippines, only Filipino citizens need to register to e-travel. So that's all the updates for today, guys. I hope you have a safe travel. God bless you all and stay safe. And today we celebrate 200,000 subscribers. Yay! Thank you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And for those who have been with me since like pandemic times, 2020, 2021, you're amazing. Wow, I never expected we'd go this far. But yeah, you know what? I'm thinking of like doing something else in this channel. If you guys have an idea or you want me to do something else, comment down below and I'll read your comments. I'll see you with another travel update. Bye!